If you've been doing some research into what a booking software can do for your campground, you've come to the right place. Hey, this is Zach from Yas and Let's Camp, and today I want to talk to you about what booking software can do for your campground. So you might be mid-season watching this, or you might be at the end of your season wrapping up and you think, this year was pretty good, but how can next year go better? And I'm here to help you figure out the answers to that question. So first we're going to talk about how booking software can save you time. Let me know if this sounds familiar to you. It's the day before opening, and you know that a bunch of your customers are going to bed and setting alarms so that they can wake up bright and early so that they can get that spot in your campground. And that's all great because you do want to book up early, but you know that what's coming next day is that once that phone starts ringing, it's not going to stop ringing, probably for a week or two if you're like most of our campgrounds. And that's just really not how most people want to spend the first week of the season. So what do? Easy answer to this one: you get an online booking software. People can go to the website, create an account, log in, and book right then and there. No longer do you have to answer those phone calls. You don't have to take notes in your notebook and hope that at the end of the day all of your notes line up with what you are booking. You're not double booking people. It's really important for people to be able to get in there, book what they want, and even come back later and change those bookings. Yes, when your phone stops ringing at the end of the day because you're all full, then the phone will start ringing again the next day because you know that somebody has something that they need to change. Stop chasing payments. It seems that in most industries this is no longer so much of an issue, but in the campground industries, you have people phoning to book, and then of course you don't necessarily take credit card or debit over the phone, so you're spending the next couple of weeks with a long list of people that you're having to phone every single day, saying, would you like to confirm your stay with us? And there's just so many people that don't get back to you, and this leads to no-shows and overall just a huge waste of time and money. With a booking software, you can actually have people pay in full when they book. So no longer do you have to deal with these small deposits and chasing people down. You can also do what's called refund rules. So if somebody tells you the day of that they're not coming in, and now you've got a spot you have to fill, you can choose to only give them either no refund or a partial refund. You can also set rules to refund more for people who give you the right amount of time in between. And clear out holdups at your gate. I remember when I was a kid and I would go camping with my parents, the lake we went to here in Saskatchewan, it had a large road that it went up a hill, that came right down into the gate. And we used to have to park, halfway up this hill, waiting for people to get processed through the gate. And I remember being so anxious. I was sitting there already wearing my bathing suit. As soon as my parents would park, we would run out to the water. And I'm up on this hill where I can see a perfect view of the water, and yet it seems so far away from me. I'm so frustrated because I'm going to be sitting there waiting for probably 45 to 50 minutes while they just slowly process people through. With booking software, on the other hand, a lot of this can be automated, and instead of having this long waiting line, you can just kind of zoom people right through. They already know what they want. They know where they're staying. They're already paid in full. So all you have to do, just put a check mark down on a page, nice and easy. The second topic is that booking software saves you money. So the first point here, of course, is that millennials like myself, I've spoken to quite a few people just, in the time I've spent kind of working in this industry, and there are a lot of us who won't even consider booking at a site that doesn't have some sort of online booking. We've been burned a couple times before. We phone in and they say, you can't make reservations this many days before, this many days after. You have to just come in and see what's available. My generation, we're an impatient people, so we want to make sure that we can get it booked, know that we have it, we don't have to worry about anything, we can just come in. So basically what I'm saying is there's a huge portion of people, and it's a growing majority coming into your, sorry, not majority, it's a growing population, and you just don't want to miss out on that huge demographic. Are you selling add-ons? This is a super important question that a lot of campgrounds might not be thinking of, but people come to your campsite, you expect that they usually have everything they need, but they come and they're missing firewood and they want to rent a kayak on the lake. Things like this that people, more so are starting to expect campsites to have available for them. It's a huge missed opportunity if you don't, because then they're leaving your gates, going to get whatever they need, supplies, firewood, groceries, and they're coming back with it rather than spending money in your establishment. You can also, of course, use add-ons to get people's interest and attention that your campsite has things that others don't. You have activities that people can take part in. You've got guided hikes, maps, stuff like that people can not just go for a regular camping trip, but really get an entire experience. I worked for a couple years in sales, and one of the biggest things they taught us was to bring up add-ons early and often. So this puts your campers in a mindset that not only do you have these things, but that they're something that can improve their lives. So it's not that they're getting to your campsite and they see a sign that says kayak rental and they're like, oh, that might be fine for next time. This is people who are booking. This is weeks or months before they're actually going to be at your location. They see that you've got kayak rentals. Even if they don't make the decision right then and there, the next time when they actually come through your gate, they're going to see again, oh look, that's right, they do have kayak rentals. I actually might be interested in that this time. The power of having add-ons is such a draw, and booking software is a very easy way to include those in a way that people can see them early and often and just have more things to do at your site. And of course, you want to stop spending your budget on manual hours. Every year when you have, this notebook full of bookings, how much time are you spending, of course, initially answering that phone like we talked about earlier, and then how much time are you spending processing this, sending out invoices, getting receipts already? How much of this manual time could you be spending doing something better, like developing your campsite or, even just having some free time to enjoy yourself if that's something that you are into. Now, of course, I'm not saying that you should, try to get rid of all your staff. That's not really the goal here. It's just to make sure that the staff that you do have are able to do things that are going to help you succeed and grow rather than just, bucket water out of a sinking ship. And finally, of course, a campground booking software can help enable your growth. So it basically all comes down to your analytics. How much do you know about your campsite and the people at your campsite? Are people coming to stay in one specific spot? Or do you have weekends, of course, that are busier than others? And what do you do to monetize these things and prepare for them? With a booking software, we can take a look at things like what's your most popular campsite? Where do people want to be the most, and where can you kind of make improvements on where people maybe don't want to stay, next to the dreaded smelly fish filleting shack. I know that's always a campsite in my lake I never wanted to go to. And how are your add-ons doing? Are they something that's a huge benefit to you? Are they something that you should spend more time and resources developing? Analytics are so huge, and if you're not measuring, you're not improving. For the second and third points of enabling your growth, I won't talk about these in too much detail in the video here. Definitely check out the blog. If you aren't reading this or if you aren't watching this on my website, I will put a link to the blog in the description. I kind of outline a two-step process after this to use your analytics to identify different growth plans and then how to actually action on those. So of course these won't be relevant to everyone, but as a campground owner, you really want to make sure that you've got your hands on everything going on in your campground, and that when things are ready to grow, you are also ready for them to grow with you. All right, so that's all the details I have for the video today. Of course, if you read in the blog below, you will find a little bit more of a detailed description on each of these points. As always, my name is Zach. I'm here with Yas and Let's Camp. If you have any specific questions for me or have anything else that you'd like me to talk about, definitely give me a shout. You can reach me by phone or email. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope I gave you something useful to think about, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.